What's up, guys? It's Nemiichu, back at it again, I guess. My history in BDO and gaming in general. So first, never had a console, never had a computer that could actually play games because I lived on a farm which had Wi-Fi that it took 8 hours to load a YouTube video. So I wasn't gaming ever. Then in 2021, I was gifted a computer. And I was super pumped. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to do computer stuff. Didn't know what computer stuff was, but I was going to get it. And I had friends who have always been gamers. So since they were like children, they've had consoles, they've had computers, they know how to game, they understand it. Veterans of the game, right? And they love MMOs. And I was like, okay, I want a game. I think that would be fun. So I was told to try Guild Wars 2 first. And I was like, okay. Tried it for a bit. Didn't even get to the first quest, I don't think, before I gave up. Because I was like, I don't know, it doesn't seem right for me. Which, newsflash, later on, I do play Guild Wars 2 and I love it. So I didn't give it enough time. My friends were playing BDO at the time, not Guild Wars 2. They were playing BDO. So I was like, oh, I want to play the game you're playing right now. And they're like, no, Nemi, it's pretty hard. It's way too complicated. I don't think you're going to be able to do it. And I was like, nah, I can do it. I can do it. Let me in. Coach, let me play. And they were like, okay, whatever. So that's when we started our problems. Got the game downloaded, everything set up, immediately realized I cannot figure out how to use a keyboard and the mouse at the same time, which I didn't think was a problem because my hands didn't want to do separate things. They wanted to both be the keyboard or both be the mouse. They didn't want to do separate things. So I had a super hard time like moving my character and looking around with the camera. It was like very difficult immediately. And I was like, oh no. Didn't tell anyone though, because I was like, it's okay. I will figure that out. Don't tell anyone. So we had problems with the keyboard immediately. Then we got to Discord. You're a gamer, you get Discord, right? Yeah. Talk to people in Discord for the first time. Crazy. I'd never talked to people on the internet before. I was surprised. I was shocked. I was like, oh, there's people in this little box? That's crazy. Had a great time talking to people on Discord. Super fun. Didn't understand the lingo, though. They were playing the game and they would be like, oh, the GM's here. What's a GM? Who's that? What's that? What's a CM? What's an RBM? What's an LBM? C-swap? I don't know what those are. Didn't ask a question, though. Didn't want to feel dumb. Even though I was at the time. So I didn't ask a goddamn question. I should have. Didn't. Then my friend gave me a quick rundown of all the buttons I need to know for like map, my menus, just different stuff that you need to like navigate through the game. Immediately forgot how to open the map. Immediately. So I started near Heidel. For 3 months, I didn't open the map because I couldn't figure out how. And I thought that every person in this game was just a freak who could know where they're going in the game through that tiny mini map on the screen. And I was like, how do they know that? They just memorize where stuff is? That's crazy. This game is full of crazy people. No, you just didn't open your map, crazy. That was me. Couldn't open the map for 3 months. So in that time, I ran around Heidel, just gathering, tried to climb a mountain a couple times, tried to drown myself, couldn't because they took that out of the game, and just kind of fucked around mostly for 3 months. Didn't really get anything done. Nothing really happened. I was taught how to fish because my friend was like, you need to make some money. You should learn how to fish because there's an event on. And I was like, yeah. And then I fished and then my inventory got full and I didn't know what to do with it because the only NPC I could remember where they were was the general vendor and they didn't want my fish. So I was like, well, who wants these? I don't know. Couldn't figure that out. So I found a storage keeper in 2 or 3 different towns, filled up those storages with fish. There's still, to this day, I have storages full of dead fish from that event when I started the game. They're like relics of me just not understanding and not asking a goddamn question, which I will continue to not ask until the end of this. After about 4 months of just nonsense, I decided to join a guild. The same guild that my friend who got me into the game joined. It was a T1 guild. They'll help you learn the game. And I was like, yeah, that sounds great. So I joined their guild and it was pretty fun. They PvP'd a lot, which was great. I wanted to learn how to PvP, but I also didn't understand any buttons. And I was playing Archer at the time because I loved my beautiful femboys. And the GM was like, oh, I can teach you Archer. And I was like, okay. So I went to BA. Took a long time to get into BA because I'm bad with menus. And I finally got in there. And then he was telling me, and I was immediately, it was over my head because he was like, oh, shift RMB, WLMB or whatever, C swap. Immediately confused because I didn't know what RMB was, didn't know what LMB was, didn't know what a C swap was. And I could not press the buttons as fast as I needed to because I was confused on the keyboard. So I was having a lot of issues immediately. So I wrote all the stuff down, had a very frustrating hour of me trying and failing to do this, and then was like, thank you very much, and then put Archer away immediately because I was like, that seems too hard for me, King. I cannot do that. And immediately hard swapped onto a Guardian because I did not know how to aim any of my skills. I didn't know you did that. So, whoops. Immediately confused. Just didn't know what was going on. Had a very hard time. I had a problem for a while where, because Guardian is very like shift Q, right? Awaken Guardian. Q and tab are really close to each other. So I would put my weapons away and then I would kneel down in mobs or near an opponent or something and die. I did that a lot, actually. It happened constantly to the point where I was getting very frustrated. I was thinking about removing keys from my keyboard. I'm like, should I just not have these keys on here? They're honestly problematic for me. Then I started PvE-ing because I needed money. And my guild was like, yeah, Nemi, you should grind. And I was like, yeah, never grinded before. Don't know what that's like. Didn't start at any of the beginner zones where my gear was relevant. Nope. I immediately jumped to imps and castle, which I was not strong enough for either. But what we did, because my guild was super sweet, they would kind of int themselves and they would just let me try to hit as many mobs as I can before I die every single time. And then I would slowly build up money and just get gear. I actually geared up pretty fast because I was getting more money at these areas, even though I was dying, than I would have at the beginner areas. I also didn't run any crystals for like 2 years because of this reason. Because I used to die at grind zones constantly because I didn't know how to use my keyboard. Every problem comes back to the keyboard almost. Of me having hard time using the keyboard, not being able to get out of the way, dying to mobs. Didn't want to break my crystals? Don't have them. Easy peasy breezy. Then while all this was happening, my friend was like, you should stream. I feel like you'd be a good streamer. And I was like, okay. Never watched a stream before. Don't know what Twitch is. I'll try it though. Immediately, too much on my plate. Couldn't figure out the keyboard. Very confused in tech. Immediately got a stream going. Playing a game I barely know how to play. And I'd have people coming in my chat asking me questions. Immediately didn't know. And instead of being confident enough to be like, I don't know, I'm new, I'm confused, I was like, oh, I should ask somebody or something. Like I pretended I knew when I didn't, which is really annoying of me to do. I'm working on it, but damn, was it annoying for me because it's not learning and you just stay dumb. Also, I learned from Twitch, from streaming video, that there was a lot of misinformation in the game because my guild would tell me one thing. I would go on my stream, be doing something, and my chat would tell me something else. So there was conflicting information all the time. And I was new and I was confused and it would be frustrating. Look, I enjoy streaming now, but at the time I had to take many breaks. I had to take breaks from the game, from streaming because of just misinformation, of people giving me just like conflicting ideals of things. And I was like, I don't know what's happening. This is too much. I was people pleasing. I was confused. I was scared. I just didn't like it. I've worked on it. I don't do that anymore, but damn, was it a problem for a while. Then we move on to when Nemi joins Siege Guild she has no goddamn business being in, which is a large chunk of Nemi in this game, by the way. So my T1 guild eventually disbands, people leave. But the people that were in my guild were extremely strong. I don't think I talked about that yet. The person who got me into the game has been playing BDO since it came out in Korea and then made an NA account when it was available in North America. So he knows how to play the game and is very good at the game. Also very good at PvP and very strong. And I am not. People would want my friend illiterate. That's his in-game name. I'm not being mean to him. They would want him because he's strong and he's good at PvP. So they'd be like, hell yeah, I want that guy on my team. And then he'd be like, oh, can I bring Nemi? And they'd be like, yeah, sure, whatever. Bring whatever you want. So it's kind of like a carry-on luggage, basically. And I didn't know anything about PvP. I didn't know how to aim. I didn't know what super armor was, frontal guard, CC, or race CC. I kind of only learned those a couple months ago from now, this year, 2025, which is not good. But I was in siege guilds, which people had to trial to get into. I've never trialed, ever. I didn't know what it was. And people would be like, how did you get in this guild? And I'll be like, I don't know. They just send an invite. I'm honestly confused. Because if you're just a carry-on for someone better than you, it's pretty easy. So in these guilds, I was a shy. I was on a defense team once, and then the rest of the time, I was a shy. Which it's easy to be a shy and not know how to use your keyboard. It's pretty fucking easy. All you have to do as a shy is buff and kind of be there. As long as you do both those things, no one really questions it, because people would rather have a garbage shy than no shy at all. So I would not get in trouble for these things. But every single time, I would leave these guilds after a while because I felt guilty that I, being a person who doesn't understand anything that's going on, is in a guild where people work hard to get into. I felt bad that I was just kind of like pulled into these guilds and I was taking a spot that I feel like I didn't deserve. So I'd mostly move on. I'd move on to other strong guilds, which was probably not the best. Carry on luggage, right? You just move around. So the only reason I have such a high list of siege guilds is because I was a carry on luggage for someone else. Eventually, when I got to Fabled, that's the name of a guild, I realized I was like, I should actually learn how to play. I should learn how to grind properly, and I should learn how to PvP. Because when I was grinding, I would grind, but I didn't understand PvE rotations. I still don't. I also don't understand rotations in general because like I kind of just like run all over the place and just get whatever and just hope no one's there. And if I see another player, I immediately swap. I don't know the rotation. I'm confused. People are like, it's a circle. I'm like, yeah, it gets confusing sometimes, all right? I don't know left and right most of the time, so circles. I wanted to learn PvP. I love PvP in this game. It's very fast. It's really fun. And I needed to learn it. And Fables was where I was going to. That was when I got VOD reviewed. And VOD review is actually great. To film yourself doing something and then someone watching it back with you and showing you what you can improve on is super helpful, actually. It helped me a lot because I was like, oh, okay, that makes so much more sense. I've gotten so much better since I'm doing VOD reviews because I understand more. I'm like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to be doing instead of just running around confused. A big problem I've had in like Node Wars in general is doesn't matter if the shot caller's good or if they're bad. I had to get used to a lot of voices at the same time, and it's a lot to deal with. It's very overstimulating. Most of the time I get overstimulated and I'm like, oh my God. So I'd make dumb mistakes because like the shot caller's telling me something and then there's someone else saying something. I'm like, oh my God, what is happening? I've gotten better at it. I still get a little overstimulated and I just need to relax a little bit and it's just a game and we're okay. Moved on from Fable into other bigger guilds and it went pretty okay. I learned more lessons, still didn't really ask any questions. Finally got to the guild I'm in now. I finally asked some questions only a couple months ago. I was finally like, this is frustrating. Stop this, Nemi. We need to ask a question. We need help. Please ask someone. And I did. I asked someone like questions I didn't know of, like, what's a re-CC? Where should I be positioning myself? I'm very confused. I don't know where I'm supposed to be at all. Like, where should I be? How should I go over there? You know, like, what should I use to get over there? Good questions I should have asked years ago. I've been playing this game for 4 years. You didn't ask any questions? You have fish in your storage. You may wonder why I even stayed in this game if I was so frustrated. And it's literally just the people. The people I met in my first guild, I really enjoyed them. And then I've made friends as I've gone along to other guilds. So the people was the whole reason that I even dealt with the game in general when I was so frustrated, because I wanted to stay in the game. So I had common ground with people, to hang out with people. But when I think back, I definitely should have stayed in Guild Wars 2, learned all my buttons, got comfortable with the computer, and then graduated from Guild Wars 2 into BDO. That would have made a lot more sense, a lot less painful, a lot better. Don't do what I do. If somehow you are like me, which I very, very doubt, because I've never met someone like me ever who has done this, don't do that. It's terrible. I might have fun now, but that's because it took so long. And don't waste the time, man. Just start easy, then go hard, okay? Don't do hard and then go easy. It's confusing. Just ask a question, please.